Hi guys, welcome back to learn something more about loops. And in this video, I'll be basically, implementing the repetition structure. So I will start from the counter loop, that is for loop. So as we know that in the for loop, we have the three basic, parts, which is number one. Let me just start the annotation. Yep. So number one part is the initialization. So we have to initial the loop, which means in the starting point. And once it is started, the second point is the condition. So this is called condition. So as soon as we have the condition, then we check like if the condition is false. So we stop the loop. We stop the loop or end the loop. And if the condition is true, so what we do is that we do and we jump into the body. In the body, we may have one statement or we may have more than one statement. So it's up to us. Or it's up to the nature of the, how to say, program. And then we have to update. Update means the variable or the values that is being used in the condition has to be updated, and it will go back here. So this is the true part and this is the false part. False does not do that. So as soon as the false statements come, so we stop the program. That's just a theoretical kind of things. So once again, initialization happen only once, and then condition, and then body, and then update, and then conditions, and then the same thing. So let's start implementing that. So let me just clean it. So the first point is second. Yeah. So first of all, we have to. I'm gonna just make a program which basically will ask a user to pass their names, and then it will just print that the number of times that user wants to get it printed. So that's the same example that I started when I was working with the initial, explaining of the programming languages, that if you have to print your name certain times. So just a quick one. So in order to store the names, we have to use the variable called a string, and then we have like how many times you want to print your name. So it has to be integer. So names like 5 times, so 5 is integer, right? So we can use short. It's up to us like what we're gonna do that. So first of all, the message, please enter your name. So this is just a message, and then that's it. And then we have to, it's always a good approach that you should have scanner started here, and then you should have, so you should be having, everything ready before you ask users to input during runtime. So this is where you will store your name using a scanner. Sorry about that. So scan dot next line, that is going to help you to get the, how to say, uh, the total, complete line from the console, what I mean from here, right? During runtime. And then you should ask how many times you want it to be printed. So you should also use the same thing, that is the variable times, and then you store it in the times variable that you have already declared here. So that's perfectly fine. So this is all about just to setting it up. So it's not gonna basically print everything number of times. We're just gonna see like how it happens. So my name is Rahman. I did print it 5 times. The program ends very well. This makes some sense. So let's go back. And now we are going to implement the for loop. So in order to implement the for loop, as I told you, you have to have something, how to say, starting point or initialization point. So you can create direct variable here if you don't have any variable created here. If you can create here, so it's also okay. You can just start here. Or if you have already declared that variable here, for example, you have already initialized the variable, let's like this, I equals to 1. So you can just put I here. So it's just a point that you are basically starting. So it's everything is allowed here. So here is the condition. Condition is condition is something that you basically put to say like how many times it should be working. So you have this times, and then you have to then make it I plus plus. That is the body. So as I told you that we have to, let's say, we have to, give updates to how it will be updating. So you have to put it right, very clear here. Though I am saying this is the part, like every time I run the body, it has to go one increment. How it will happen, we're gonna see quickly. So how are we gonna make it? So first of all, so you just print the name. So, so you just print the name. So just to make it beautiful, so I'm gonna say like, okay, so I will be printed right now. I is one, so one will be printed, and then what I print is that the name that I just took. So it will help me to print the name. So it's just pretty straightforward program. So I is one right now, so it will be one printed, and then how it will happen. So I is one, so it will check I one is like one is less than times means five. So let's say if I insert five. So one is less than or equals to five, that's a true statement, so the body will be printed. And let's go back here. So I will be incremented with one. So now I is two. So two is less than five. That's true. So it will be keep moving until the five comes. Let's run it. So that's my name. And then I'm saying, okay, I wanted to print it for 5 times. You see here. It's very beautiful. You see, I didn't have to write the name for 5 times, but it is automatic. It's kind of a little bit dynamic, isn't it? Because it repeats the body as many as time I want, or I want, right? So like it could be more complex. I could have 100 lines of code, so I cannot repeat. I don't know how many times. So it's up to user that basically takes the number of inputs, right? So let me just quickly explain you that how it looks like. So how did it work? I might have seen, like, for example, I is one, so one. So this is statement one is less than or equals to. So when I said I will be, let's say you see here five. So this is my condition, right? So this is my condition. So now I is less than or equals to five. Is it true? Yes, it's true. So if it's true, so the body will work. This is the body. We may have other lines of code, or we don't have these curly brackets, then only one line will be printed. I'm gonna just print it out. I'm gonna just explain you a bit later. So let's say this is five, and then it goes back. Once this is done, it will not go back to the condition, it will go to the increment. So I plus plus, which means increment, which means I plus one, it's the same thing. So I is one right now. So after the increment, it will become two. So now this will be comparing like this way, two less than or equals to five. That's true. So it's true. So body will run. So now the board name is printed second time. So I is two now, and then I goes back here. So now I is three. So three less than or equals to five, and it goes until like this will become six. Six less than or equals to five, that's false. So then only the program will go fast. Let me show you quickly that what if I do not have this body? So what will happen? You're just gonna see like if I don't have the body, which is sorry about that. If I don't have the body, so what will happen is basically only one statement. Let's say I'd say loop is ending. Let's say. So you're gonna see it's automatically indented here, indentation here. Let's run it. So now I have 2 line of code. I'm running it. It's the same thing. I'm gonna say like Rahman, and I'm gonna say five. So it's gonna printing 5 times only one statement. It does not print loop is ending. So what if I give the body here, and then I see like what happens? If I run it, so now as you know that this has become body, so the both of them will be printing 5 times. Let's say Rahman, and I say five. So you're gonna see like every time Rahman is being printed, so loop is ending is also printing because now it has become the body. So if I don't give these curly brackets by default, the loop takes only one statement, and you're gonna get this, suggestions that you may not be bringing it like that indentation. So now it's over. So this is one of the things. And the second thing that I wanted to discuss it with you is that what if you answered something wrong, like -1? So -1 is the wrong statement, and then it does not work. -1 is less than 5, so it does not print your name at all. So loop is ending. So that's also possible that you mistakenly, you know, created something. And then, for example, I'm gonna say I have I greater than times, which is 5, for example. So I say 5, and then I'm gonna give the number which is like I'm starting it from 6, let's say. So 6 is greater than 5, that's true, and then 6 will be incrementing one by one. So let's run. What's gonna happen? So let's run it, and I'm gonna say Rahman, and I say 5 times. So you see, this is going to create an infinity. That kind of a situation makes a loop uncontrollable. This is going to create a lot of problems in your, how to say, in your program, where your condition is basically creating infinity. So how to control it? So we may have a lot of ways to control it, but I will be explaining them later. So just for this video, I'll just explain to you that you may have, different things that you can perform using loops. So keep, stay tuned with me. So let's learn more about loops in the next video. Thank you so much, guys.